and all this because you simply have a money supply you can't control. And that's why we guarantee that we never mint more tokens than we already have, and that everything is governed by the community. So there are no surprises. So we think that is important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in that the community really drives the project. You might have a vision, you might have, the know-how, but if you don't have the community backing you up, you're not going to get too far in the crypto space.
No. And we have people we never met throwing $2,000 3,000 after our token, and it's it's a big reward to really have a project that people believe in, and we can see we almost hit an all-time high every week. And it's just fascinating to see we grow this fast, and it's fun, and the community is excited about it, and our investors are very happy for the direction we have managed to put this project in. And we're so early days, like it's it's incredible how big this project can be and how early we are, and still we are celebrating our all-time highs, but we know it's going to grow to much higher levels if things go just half as good as we have planned. So it's still very early, and there's plenty of time to get in at a very good rate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always say we're at the 90s.com era of the crypto of
Yeah.
the Web 3. That was the big Web 2, and then we hit the 2000s, and then that just blew up, and then you've seen all these companies, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and that's really where they started to dominate. And I feel like that's where we're at in
Yeah.
Web 3 right now, is right before that big blow up in domination.
Yeah. And another thing I will emphasize is actually our background in artificial intelligence, which makes us able to use artificial intelligence as a tool, as a production tool in both our marketing and our operations. So even though we're a small team, we basically have the best tools, and we can really make a big impact because we use these smart technologies probably more than many other big corporations do. So that also helps us, you can say, accelerate our milestones at a rate that is much faster than normal. And that is also the reason why we can announce all these partnerships and really transform our company week by week in a pace that not many have seen in the industry, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it really looks that way from what I've heard so far.
yeah. So let me just give you a brief description about our utility token called BACD, which is on PancakeSwap trading as we speak, and grounded on the Binance Smart Chain. What we have built is a utility token that we will basically give so much utility that everybody's going to be very excited about it. And what we have just signed is, for instance, with a company called SaaS, we can, use the back to tokens as gift cards. We have now implemented farming and staking through Milliga Finance, with more partners to come.
1 second, real
And
quick.
we,
I just
yeah,
want see guys. Zot was on here doing an AMA with us, and they have been on a steady uptrend. And even look, they're drawing in more partners as we speak. So, guys, don't sleep on Zot.
we
Sorry,
should.
I just wanted to do a plug for them real quick because they came and
Thank you.
talked with us too.
Send our warm greetings. We will happy to speak to them. So, and also we are coming with a huge announcement. We cannot say too much about it, but you will be able to use the back two tokens also as means of payment when you go shopping and so on. So we are working very hard on a big partnership deal with a big player in the crypto banking space, and we hope this will go through so we can come back with a strong offering. So that is what the BAC2 token does. It's also a means of payment for the companies who wants to tokenize, and we are forcing now all our revenue payments, all our consultancy fees to be paid in BAC2 tokens to really push for the utility of the tokens. So you can no longer pay us with anything else than BAC2 tokens, and that's going to be fun to see how much that will affect the use of the token. What is unique about our tokenization is that we also have a tax on it. We have a 6% buy tax and a 6% sales tax. And we do this because we have a lot of different targets that we want to feed with reflections. So every BAC2 holder, when they hold BAC2 tokens, they will get a portion of those reflections from the daily taxes. And we measure the amount of tax each wallet will have based on its total amount of BAC2 tokens. That means the more BAC2 tokens you hold, the more tax you will get. So you will get 20% of the 6% you will get as a tax for trading the BAC2 tokens, sent as dividends once a month. Let me go like this. That was a little bit with the power, so I think I need to get some more power.
Yeah, no problem. I had to restart my recording because I had a couple of issues myself. So yeah, it all happens.
I hope. Yeah. Okay. So I think we are up and running again
Fantastic.
shortly here. It's just I want to make sure we don't fall out of power in the middle of the talk. So now we're back,
All
and
right.
moreover, we have a 1% tax for the backed investors. We have a token called the BAC token that is a share. It is a security that you buy on our private sale platform. And then we have 2% for development, 1% for marketing, and 1% for administration. So we basically make money to the community every time somebody buys or sells its token. But we see a big trend in actually holding the token. So less and less people are selling that token actually, which is a good thing. But that is the structure of our token. But the great thing is that the BAC token actually also provides dividends for the BAC2 tokens, because every time we get a new investor, we have more money to put into marketing, more money to put into giving airdrops and other things for the investors. So it's what we call a sustainable tokenomic system we have built that really complements each other. And that's how we make it work. Yeah. So that was about the tokenomics.
Yeah, and,
So
and with how you guys have the tax set up, it it doesn't discourage trading, but it shouldn't make the long time holders worried about day traders because they're getting a percentage of that trade back to them in dividends. So it kind of makes
yes,
a win-win situation for everyone.
yeah, exactly. And the day traders, they take profit and they pay the tax, and somebody buys the dip, and then we're back growing again. So it really makes perfect sense in the ecosystem. And yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
so now I think we went through like the basics about back. So I'm excited to hear what kind of questions the community have for us.
Well, before we open it up to the community, I have a couple questions. So
Yeah,
I see you guys
are you?
are, yeah. I see you guys are, like you said, transitioning businesses over from Web 2 to Web 3, and pretty
Yeah,
much, trying to encourage them from doing shares and coming over to the blockchain world. In the future,
Yes.
do you guys plan to make it have like any venture capital type thing, like where your community can vote on investments and you use funds from the company to start investing in some of these companies you bring over?
Yes, we already have that structure, and we have that already working, and we do manage funds for investors who place in different of our private equity portfolio. But we will see much more of that in the future, and we will also be able to attract more capital in the future from VCs and large investors. We are fortunate to have very, very strong investors already on board. Actually, some of, among others, Denmark's biggest investors on board. So we are pretty spoiled in terms of having strong advisors and backing. But as we grow now, we are actually out raising 2 to 3 million to really grow the company further. And we also probably gonna do some big sellouts of some of the private equity to really get that, you know, muscle to get a very strong liquidity pool and so on.
That is
Yes.
fantastic. That's yeah. I bring that up because it's very interesting because we are so early. So if you can find these early venture capitals now, you can really set yourself up for the future. And then another question. I heard a small part of the taxes were going to marketing. And
Yeah.
so, with that being said, what is your guys' plan to draw in people that are nervous of the crypto space? And then after this question, we will open it up to the community for questions. So start tagging me in your questions, guys.
Yeah. So we actually spent quite some time on onboarding, you can say, the non-cryptos into the crypto world. And I always say, start showing them the wallet. Start helping the ones who don't have a wallet with implementing a crypto wallet, and make them receive a payment or send a payment through that wallet. And they will already be amazed about how efficient and easy it is. And then from there, you really start telling about, you can say, all the advantages for Bitcoin and other store value assets. You tell them about how smart NFTs are, and then you basically take them on the journey. And everybody's, once they have had that, you can say, orange pill and other color pills, uh, they are actually positive. And many, this is what we experience, they go in afterwards and say, should I invest in this? And that's how we get some of the bigger investments in. Actually, it's not from the crypto guys, it's actually from the non-crypto guys. They are the ones who put in the big money. So so we're definitely very, very observant about how can we bring trust and credibility towards the old fiat investors, and how can we get them to allocate a small percentage of their portfolio into companies like BACD and others.
Great answer. Yeah, I agree 100%. The more you bring the fiat to the crypto space, the better for everybody. So one member had
100%.
Mr. Incredible has a question, but you already answered the first part, so
No.
we're going to go to the second part of his question. Regarding your
Yes, it
security
was a good
system,
question.
no, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Regarding your security system, how secure firewalls against hacks and attacks? Have you been audited by any third-party company to ensure safety of users, funds, and data? If yes, how can we access this audit credentials?
Great question. And we have done all our coding in the Solidity language and from the Open Zeppelin library. So everything has actually been audited. All the code has been audited, and we have also had various audits of our smart contract from both Pink Sale and Contract Checker and other companies. So we are more than happy to share those audits with the community. You are welcome to. I think they're also on our GitHub, So we can share our GitHub, and you can see for yourself.
Perfect. Yeah, security is always important, to every investor.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
so builder.
and
Oh,
and
go ahead.
yeah, maybe I should also tell about our wallet structure, and everything is multi-sig and really impossible to hack. So we we are basically very, you can say, secured in terms of hacking, and also in terms of the way we govern the smart contract. It's Sean who has the keys, and we trust Sean completely, and so on. So, but we do know that in time we need to fully automate everything, so that not even a person has any any say about how things are governed. Everything will run on the smart contract, but we will come there. So until then, you will have to put a little trust in, for instance, Dawn and me and other from our team to manage some parts of the system manually, you can say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every business, has to eventually transition over to automation. It's not done overnight. So our next
That's
question
true.
is, do you have any coin burn slash buyback system or any token burn-in plan to increase the value of the BACD tokens and attract investors to invest?
This is also a winning question. And we like we say, we are community driven, and the community just voted for burning the tokens. So we actually put words behind what we say when we say we are community driven. So the community voted to burn 1 billion tokens, and we did so. So it was sent to the burn address, and we shared the transaction hash with everyone. So there's no doubt that these tokens are gone. We delisted because the community told us so, because we didn't want to have any question about any dilution worries. So we basically took that decision, and it was a good decision. We can see that it really made our investors more happy. And the same if we decide that we should not have 100 million back two tokens, but only 80 million, well, then it's something we vote on, and something we decide together. But we need to be intelligent about it, and we need to talk about also the bad things about a burn, and from those findings we do the voting. But we want to make sure on every big issue that we have enough data and intelligence to do the right decisions.
You just answered the question I was gonna ask, because that's important, because
Okay.
community driven is, a double-edged sword. If the knowledge isn't there, you might make bad decisions. So I was wondering if there's like a safe place, and
Right.
you just, touched up on that. Thank you so much. Uh,
Yeah, and I want to add that we, in the governance model, we also have implemented a veto, and the veto is for special situations where the community will not make the right decision, or the board will not make the right decision. I always give the same example of a investment into a weapon company that maybe give a good return on investment, so that our board would vote for it, because we are here to maximize our investors' ROI. But the community would maybe think, or most likely think, that investing into weapons is not a good idea, and therefore they would be able to veto against that investment decision. So that's how we explain that there are vetoes in certain instances that can overrule a voting.
that is great to
Yeah.
hear. Yeah, because that is a perfect example. I like that example so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um,
So this next question, there's two parts. Are there any basic requirements a business owner must undergo before being allowed to use your company? Uh, and then the
mm,
second part is
fr-
regarding the back debit card. Do we get to pay a maintenance? Do we have to pay a maintenance fee on the card?
Great questions as well. So there are different debit cards there are the virtual ones, and then there are the physical ones. And the virtual ones, there will be no fee, but the physical ones, there will be a fee to both send it and renew it. And it will be, you can say, compatible, or you can say same price as competitors. So it will be in a range of a few dollars to get a new card and so on. So so
Yeah, and that's
but
that's
we
pretty
will have
common.
all, yeah, but we will have a full update once we have the announcement. We will get all the new websites and everything up and running, and you will be able to see pricing and everything before you decide to have a card. But personally, I really start enjoying the virtual cards. I use those a lot, and those are really smart. And so you don't always have to pay for a physical card. You can actually make things work with a virtual card, and we see that trend going forward. So yeah,
That's great. And then the second part of that question, uh,
yeah.
are there any requirements for a business to undergo before he's allowed to use your services?
So are we speaking as onboarding as investor or onboarding as a tokenization client?
As an organization client?
Okay, for tokenization, or
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
for tokenization, we there needs to be a budget, because we cannot work purely on no cure no pay. So there needs to be a budget. So that's one of the parameters. They need to be able to, pay for certain services and so on, because again, we're community driven. We need to perform. um, and we also need to know that the industry is the right one. Like I said, I gave some examples of some industry we don't want to work with. And we are not in certain industries, because we also have our reputation to protect. But other than that, we are very open towards onboarding as many different industries to the Web3 world.
Yeah, the more people, we onboard through your program, the more crypto gets adopted. On the next question,
That's right.
on the next question, due to some issues in some countries, not all users' debit cards are allowed to make international payments online. So my question is, will the virtual black crypto card generated be able to make international payments without any restrictions or limit apply?
So from the issuers, they those limitations will also follow when we issue the card on behalf of the platforms of the issuer that we work with. So there will be countries that are blocked, like Iran, North Korea, and others. And there will be some restrictions similar to the ones today from the Visa and MasterCard. But besides that, it will be fully, you can say, operational in all places that take these two brands. So 99% of the customers won't have any problems using it.
Yeah, but you are a business, so you do have to follow, regulations as well. Uh,
And yeah, of course, from a regulatory perspective, in the jurisdictions we cannot issue them on the back-to-back contract we have with the issuers and Mastercard and Visa. Of course, we will not do so. But it's important to say that we run under the licenses of the partners that we partner with, so that there will be some jurisdictions we probably are not allowed to issue the cards.
yeah. On the next question, if the community is considered the backbone, security is also extremely important factor. Oh, sorry. We already went through that one. Uh, do you have an ambassador program available? If yes, how can I join it? And may I know what's the benefit available for the ambassador?
So we actually have an ambassador program in the works, and I was actually gonna reveal that because that's one of the reasons why we go now to Cannes Film Festival tomorrow, is actually to see if we can onboard some of the ambassadors that are a little bit more known. So this is a winner question. We do have an ambassador program in the pipeline, and that's among others why we're going to Cannes tomorrow, and we will be happy to send you more information on it. And we need ambassadors out there, and we will have an ambassador program, and we have all the paperwork done for the contracts and so on. So we have been working on that for quite some time.
That is fantastic. And then the same user went on to ask, are you a global project or a local project? At present, which market are you focused on? Or is it focused on building and growing to gain customers, users, and partners?
Yeah. First question is, are we global or local? And I would emphasize that we are a global brand. We try really to be so diverse and so inclusive as possible. So we see our market as one market. We have a strategy of having local language, uh, you can say, country managers on our social media. So if you are in, let's say, France, you have a French speaking country manager that can speak with you. The community speaks in French in that channel. And then you have the main global Telegram group, for instance, the main back Telegram group where everybody can join and hear all the news. But we want to have the local communities built up so that when this takes off, the events, when you are in France, you can see them on your French Telegram, and if you are in Africa, you can see them on your African telegrams.
That is great. That is really exciting to hear. Uh,
Yeah, and we do want to emphasize that we are actually inviting country managers to send an application on contact@bac.io, because we need country managers to manage our Telegram for different countries.
I hope you guys all took that down, and if you're excited, please reach out. Uh, the
Yeah.
next question is, based on the back card, how do we get them, and will they have an expiration date, and will we need your token to renew them?
The backed shares was the question?
The
Or
back card. Do you have a
the back,
company like credit card that they can get?
ah, you for the debit cards, it's not a credit card. That service we do not have yet. It's only the debit cards, and we are finalizing one agreement now with a partner that we will have much more info about once that uh, deal is finalized. We did have some problems from our suppliers on getting the physical debit cards, so that's why we decided to go with a stronger partner that we have found now. And once that is finalized, we can tell you exactly how the rules are, and show you all the pricing, and give you much more info about that particular part of our concept.
So join their Telegram and keep your eyes out for that
Yeah,
exciting news.
yes, but it's a very big vision we have to be able to use your back two tokens in the real world. So we are working very hard on integrating that.
This next question is, how and when will you show us a real world demand for your token? Can you give me your best guess of a timeline?
Yeah. To give you an example, because we speak to the issuers all the time, and we are actually in dialogue with a lot of commodity issuers, asset owners, and with commodities, I mean copper powder, gold, and other types of commodities. We are speaking to those. They want to tokenize their gold mines, their copper powder, their other commodities, and also real estate. We have a signed agreement with a company called Driven Properties in Dubai. They have a huge portfolio that we can also tokenize and bring to the market. So all in all, there's a huge demand for it, and that's why we are spending a lot of effort on building the generation 2, which is almost complete, to be able to handle all these issuers automatically. And it will be so that it will not cost the investor anything to actually buy the asset other than the price. There will not be any fees, but the issuer will pay us a transaction fee per transaction for each token. But other than that, it would be a completely free, costless affair for the investor, other than the price of the asset. And we set another demand, and that is that the asset has to be able to be sold again. So it has to be a liquid asset that is issued, if that makes sense, because we want to be 100% sure that if you buy one of these tokenized real world assets, that you can also sell them again, like you can with the BACD token. So that is one of our demands. We will not issue any illiquid assets. Yeah.
Perfect. Fantastic answer. Thank you so much. And then they also had a second part. Where can I monitor your client's usage of Back2 tokens?
Where you can monitor the usage of the BACD token.
Yes.
So for now, you cannot. You can only see it being sold and being bought on the Binance Smart Chain. But we have had this request quite some time, and as we have in previous times have taken other payments, we have now actually decided to only take BACD tokens, and we will make a system where people can see how much utility that has been used here. So these are some of the feedbacks from the community that we will definitely show more uh, concrete, so people can see how much has the token been used today and how much is the revenue in the token, and these kind of dashboard things we will definitely show the community in the future. I would guess it would be something like a Power BI tool that we would use, or some similar data extraction and presentation layer that we will hand out to the community. But it's going to be a project that we will evolve around a hackathon or so and build together.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm going to try to see if I can answer this question or ask this question clearly.
Yeah.
I want to know if you guys have a kind of referral system whereby each time my referral makes a staking transaction, the liquidity pool will instantly just distribute the reward to my account. If yes, will I be receiving a commission based on my referral's deposit?
We do have a referral system built in the dash.back.io platform that already is out there. So you can sign investors up. You can sign up on that platform and get both a bonus of $100 when you sign up, and also when you onboard others. Plus, you get a referral fee per investor you bring on board. So yes, that is something we have coded, and that works.
Great. And then they also had a second question. One of the criteria you use to evaluate projects is the project's tokenomics. I think this is really necessary to get the best project to pledge. But what I would like to know, does your team intervene or help, for example, in balancing the tokenomics of the project? Can you make suggestions for the project that can help in obtaining a better result?
We we do indeed work with very skilled tokenomics people who help us help the client. We are not experts ourselves in that area that is called tokenization, but we have experts helping us, and that is an important part of all the project, is what's the supply and what's the utility and so on. So definitely yes, that is something we help our clients with.
Yeah, that's great. Because especially being more Web 2 side of things, they may not really know the importance of that. So they'll definitely need that guidance. The next
That's
question
right.
asks, users often care less about technology, but rather the value of the token. How do you manage
Oh
to
yeah.
strike a balance between developing the technology and also improving the value of the token?
Great question. And we really see that there is correlation between what kind of news we bring and how much interest there is in our token. So we try to be very transparent and tell what's going on in the company, so to speak. And we really also focus on bringing more value, getting more holders, get the right partners. We also play devil's lawyer and see where we're weak, where can we improve. We use a lot of time on that actually. Um, so we keep improving and keep looking what can we do better, what what made this investor invest, what part of the systems do we not have completed, and what should we clean up. So it's a constant iteration process. We go back, we present, we get feedback, we go back. So it goes like this.
Yeah,
I hope
definitely.
that answers the question.
It does,
Yeah,
yes. Great question and great answer.
great question. Yes, definitely.
Uh, One user would like to know, could you tell us a little about your achievements this year? What are you working on right now, and what are the main thoughts you want to convey through today's AMA?
Our greatest achievement is that we were selected by one of the biggest market makers. We have not made the press release yet, so we're waiting for that to happen. But we can say that the contract has been signed and that we're working very closely with the market maker now to do sort of a 360 degrees work around how to really professionalize our token and tokenomics and white paper and how do we go all the way to the top tier one exchanges, which they have contacts to and have promised in the contract that they will help us list. So we are 100% confident that we are going to be listed one day within 3 to 6 months on a top exchange. But we also know we have a lot of work to do before we get there, and that's why we, like I said initially, we are out presenting our company to large VCs and others to get that fuel to really reach our main objective, which is to list on one of the known exchanges.
That is great. Great answer. Uh, so the
Yeah.
next question is, your platform is built to tokenize real-world assets. I would like to know, why shouldn't I go to a launchpad and just create a token for my business? What are the unique properties attached to yours?
So, like I initially said, it's the legal frameworks around it. It's all the knowledge we have. It's the market makers we know. It's the whole ecosystem. It's not that easy as people think to do a successful token project. That it's not so hard to mint a token and do an unsuccessful token project, but to do a successful one actually takes a lot of skills and effort. So that's why we recommend that people ha- makes us help them with doing their token, and so far our customers have been very happy for our support.
And then I'd also point out, like you said on the legal side, what you guys are trying to do is, and very clearly is assets. These you are declaring these assets, and there's a lot of, you know,
Right.
framework you've got to do. So like the United States doesn't come after you.
Oh yeah.
We're
Oh yeah.
we're seeing that, with the Taylor Swift news in the crypto, how she turned down FTX because she was the only one to ask, "Is this an asset?" And they couldn't prove that to her. So it is a very
Yeah,
delicate situation.
yeah,
Uh,
and that's why all the disclaimers and all the risk walkthroughs are so important, because you really need to present all the risk for the investors before they go in.
so then we got another question. What
So
is your plan to make
yeah,
your project stable and provide the highest return for investors in the long term? And also, how do both of investors and project combine to create a mutually beneficial relationship?
great question. And the first is, how are we planning the success of this project? And that's by really focusing on the community. I want to emphasize that we want to build a great community, and we want to have it as wide and diverse as possible. And we are working very hard on inviting more members, and really drive the Telegram groups and doing all the social media work. We had some incredible contributions already from the community, from artworks to nice ideas. I spend a lot of time with my marketing group now, chatting online and brainstorming about where are weak points, like we said before, what could we do better, what should we do next, what should be the priorities, and so on. So getting all the nitty gritty things in place, that is our focus. Getting us listed, getting the funding, securing that we have all the wallet, you could say logos in the wallet, that we are listed on the right places, on yeah. So that's our focus, basically, to execute. Yeah.
Perfect,
And
perfect.
and
Yeah.
the other part,
Oh, yep, go
yeah.
ahead.
And what was the other part of the questions again, just to be sure?
Uh, so also, how do you both, hold on, let me try to,
Yeah.
and how do both of investors and project combine to create a mutually beneficial relationship? So, like, do you plan to do community events of any kind, or uh, how, how are you building that relationship between you, the investor, and the community?
So one of the big things we are preparing in the background is actually an online hackathon, which I've been wanting to do for a year, and I haven't had we haven't had the time to do it, to be honest with you. But now we really want to make a big online hackathon. It will probably be within the next month or so. But that's one of the things I'm really excited about, because that's going to be around the product and the marketing and so on. So it's it's
Yeah,
going to be presented soon, and that's one of the things I think it's going to be fun.
yeah, it's always fun interacting, with the community and doing, events. I just want to say
Yes.
we're at the we got 7 minutes left. I'm going to try and get
Oh,
to as
yeah,
many questions as possible, but if we don't get to your question, please feel free to jump in their Telegram, ask away, and I'm sure they'll be more than
yeah.
happy to answer. So the next question, the current transaction tax is high. Tax reduction will increase the volume of transactions. Do you have a plan to reduce taxes and increase the volume of transactions?
So again, we are community driven, and there will be a time in the not so distant future where we are more driven by liquidity from our investors. So when that happens, we will be less in need of covering, the marketing and development costs and so on by the tax. And at that point, we will probably vote for lowering the tax. So for now, it works because it's actually sustainable. But in time, we will probably end up having no tax at all, and having other ways of funding our business. So, but again, I have to say it's a voting decision, and we are approximately 250 investors and approximately 350 back two holders. So there's a lot of people who needs to decide on this, not just us.
Yeah, that's great. And you actually answered two questions there. So we'll move on to this other question so we can try to catch as many as possible. Did you encounter any
Yeah.
difficulties when tokenizing real estate? I have not seen any successful projects in this area. And when will back tokenize real estate and in which countries?
Yeah. So it's not true that there are no successful real estate tokenization projects out there. There has actually been a lot of very successful completed deals in real estate tokenization, and we are personally are focused on Dubai because we think that market is interesting for us. Um, so that's where we are going to tokenize, and we will see those tokenization projects as we launch our platform in generation 2. Those projects will be on there. We have the contract signed, and we have other milestones right now, but once that is completed and we go into the launch of the version 2 of our platform, that's when you will see the listings, and that's when you will see we are able to offer fractional ownership of real estate in firstly Dubai. But once the issuer platform is up and running, we cannot control where the asset will be from.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's great. Really exciting to hear that. You know, because I actually have never even thought of real estate being tokenized, so it's a whole new concept to me, to be honest.
Yeah,
uh,
it's today you can own a fraction of anything, right?
yeah, that's true.
So
uh,
some people buy a fraction of a yacht just to say they have a yacht.
that's right. Or time shares in exotic places, just to say they have a little part of it.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
what would be the benefit of the INFT, and what are your plans on marketing the back native mobile secure for everyone? And to read, oh, well, I'll let you answer those and then ask the third.
So these are one of our Achilles heels. We haven't really been very good at launching any NFTs or doing anything related to the NFTs, and we do know that that is something we need to do. But that is why also we have put so much effort into the Sen AG, one of our clients, and we also shareholder in the Sen AG, a fantastic company from Switzerland with an amazing team. And we have actually built an app together called the Sen, or Scene, if you want to say it that way. And it's on the App Store now. You can download it. And that is the platform that's going to do all the NFT related activities for us. And the app is in live now, and it's doing really great. So we will definitely do something around that on that platform for the backed audience as well.
That is
But
fantastic.
please go download it today. Please go download it today and play with it. It's free, and it's a fantastic tool.
Yep. So we are down to our last 2 minutes, so we're probably only going to get to one or two more questions. Again, jump in the Telegram afterwards and ask away if we did not get to it. What is your plan for global expansion at present? And which regions are you focusing on, or is it focusing on building and growing to gain customers, users, and partners?
Okay, so can we have it in bits, the question, because there were so many
Yeah,
sub
sorry.
questions. So,
So the first part, what is your plan for global expansion?
yeah, so we plan, of course, to partner up with a lot of important partners, do a lot of press releases, and building the community this way. We plan on listing on several central exchanges that will also, you know, reach a global audience. So that's basically going to be the way we're going to do things. Work with the wallet partners to also get our name out there, and in every way try to bring knowledge about who we are to the public and grow organically from that those activities.
That is great. So that kind of focused on one of the
on the
parts.
global.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, which regions are you focusing on uh, the majority wise, or is it just building worldwide? S- Sorry, I lost
Yeah.
my headset. It fell out. Can you hear me now?
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I can hear you clearly, and I want to say that we are not a typical focused company. We do our thing, and we have a global mindset, so to speak. We think about the world as one place, and we want to be as local as possible in the different groups. But we do have a more holistic approach where we just send our stuff out there, and whoever swaps, those are the one who gets the tokens. We don't like one place more than the other. We are very like open towards all cultures and all differences, and we just want to help out where we can.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, we have now hit our time. Thank you so much for
Mm.
joining us and talking about back the token and the whole ecosystem in general. It's a great concept, and it was very exciting to hear about it.
Thank thank you so much. I wanna really hope that you guys go to PancakeSwap and you find the back 2 token in there and you go swap. And we invite you also to come to our Telegram group, and hope to be in contact with you in the group in the future.
That is great, and I hope to see you back here at Bowls Insight, especially once you make a
100%.
lot of these partnerships finalized. I'd love to
We
hear
will
more
definitely
about it.
be back.
Great to hear it. And thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And then again, if we did not get to your questions, please join our Telegram and ask away, guys. Thank you so